the San Antonio Living Book Club for the last month, and we kicked off the club with our first book. It's called Wild by Cheryl Strayed. And the reason we picked this book is because I had been hearing a lot about it. I knew it's been on the bestseller list for a while. Oprah picked it as one of her books, and then, of course, it's coming to the theaters next weekend, starring Reese Witherspoon. So I thought, you know what, this would be a good book to start on. And joining us for our discussion, Patricia Fischer is here. She is an author based here in San Antonio, and you've seen her on the San Antonio Living Show several times. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So here's the deal. This book appealed to me because the woman in the book does the Pacific Crest Trail.
Right, PCT.
Yes, and my dad was an avid hiker.
Okay.
My dad made me hike the Grand Canyon, and it was horrible, but a great experience now. We talk about it all the time. And I remember taking him and dropping him off so he could start this trip, and it was a journey that he did by himself, so it was familiar to me. And so I wanted to read this book for many, many reasons, and that being one of them, plus I knew it was coming out as a movie. There's some mixed takes on this book. So tell me what you thought of this book.
I'm still on the fence.
Really?
Yeah, I am. And part of it is, you know, I guess part of it is I loved the relationship between her mother and she. You know, she tells those cute little stories about, you know, her mom saying, "Do I love you this much? Oh, that's not enough. Do I love you this?" You know, and her arms would never be wide enough for her to say. And this beautiful relationship. And then it was heartbreaking because she loses her mom very fast to cancer. And then she just gets this spiral and she just starts falling. And she can't keep the siblings together with the stepdad, you know, and the family falls apart like it often does. And I just, but then she's just so self-destructive. It was hard. Right. But then again, if we all get judged by what we did at 22, a lot of us wouldn't have jobs, you know. So I kind of had to take it in parts. But it's like she just keeps getting back up. You know, she falls down and she gets back up. She falls down. And so I think if you want to see someone, you know, keep basically tripping themselves but then getting back up and figuring out what they did wrong, I think this is a great book for you.
Let's talk about the beginning a little bit, because one of the comments that I heard from a lot of people who started the book was like, oh my gosh, the beginning grabs you and I'm reading the book. I mean, sometimes it takes me days and chapters before I'm into a book, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to finish that. This book grabs you from the beginning.
Yes.
At that point, did you still like the book? When did you start to think, maybe this book I'm not so sure about?
I think it was more she's starting the trail and she's saying she didn't break her boots in at all. She had no idea what to pack. And I'm sitting there going, this girl's going to die. And you know, if it had been a French film, I'm going, yeah, she's going to die. But when it's a book like this, and she obviously didn't, I'm sitting there going, how did she get through this?
Right.
So it's that feeling of, I don't know how invested I am in her, but I really want to know how she gets through this and not get eaten by some large animal, you know?
Yeah, because there are some on the trail. It's a scary, I mean, this is the place, I'll never forget when my dad did it. We had to ship packages to different locations along the trail, which is exactly what happens in the book. She picks things up along the way, and as she's hiking this trail, she's reminiscing about some of those tough times.
Right.
And some of those tough times are things that you and I don't really identify with because we haven't been involved in those kind of situations or whatever. I mean, she's talking about drugs and experimenting and doing this and doing that. Tell me about the character and why you think maybe, do you find her a likable character or not so much?
I think I find her likable because she gets through it.
Yeah.
Because she figures out how to, you know, basically pull her head out and figure out how to get through what she's going through. And it's interesting because she seems to be very social, and yet she needed this fortress of solitude, basically, to kind of sit down and go, what am I doing? You know, do I want to end up here in a morgue, or do I want to live? And so it's you get invested enough. She writes it well enough that you get invested to know how she gets through, because you know she gets through because she writes it.
Yeah.
But she's completely honest about what she does.
Yeah.
And so if you aren't good with certain aspects of
reality
and being in your 20s and stupid, then may not be the book for you. But I think that she paints some beautiful, vivid pictures. And some of the things I'm seeing online, people are really excited about the movie because of the wildlife scenes. They want to see that. They want to see the mountains. They want to see her standing above the trees. And I really want to see that scene where she ditches her boots.
Yeah.
You know, where she takes the boots and just throws them over because her toes are black. And so I want to see that. And she said on her website, one of the frequently asked questions was, did your toenails ever grow back normal? She goes, yeah, they finally did after years.
Well, how many times as a woman, as a person, have you been in that situation, whether it was in your 20s or in your 30s or after a divorce or after losing someone you loved, that you want to put everything away, you want to escape? For me, it's not really hiking. It would be to a beach, you know, a deserted island or something.
Chocolate.
How many people want to do that? And this is a woman who did and lived to tell about it and come out on the other side.
I think we all want to. I think we all want to escape and get away and cut reality out for a little while, and a lot of us can't. You know, I mean, I was a nurse, so I worked in trauma, pediatric and adult, and so there were days that I'd come home going, I do not want to go back and never see that again. But you have to say, okay, I'm in this for a reason. Got to go back. Got to figure it out. Maybe I'll just have a really nice bottle of wine and a pound of chocolate, and I'll just go back to work and figure it out. I mean,
it's a one-day hike.
It's a one-day hike.
Straight to the wine cellar.
Straight to the refrigerator and back. So I think that, you know, I think seeing that she just gave everything up and walked away is huge. I don't know if everyone can relate to that, but I think they can relate to getting through the adversity and the tough times and falling down. What is that Japanese proverb? Fall down 7, get up 8. I mean, it's that kind of thing. You just keep getting up and you keep trying, and you hopefully figure out how to not make that mistake again, or maybe not make it as badly.
Right.
So yeah.
So the movie comes out December 5th, starring Reese Witherspoon. I think she was also involved in the writing and the production of the movie as well. Will you see the movie?
Yes.
Yeah?
I will. And I think maybe I'll like the book more if I have that visual aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the mountains. You know, I want to see those things. But she painted beautiful, beautiful pictures of it.
I'll tell you what, pick it up, give it a try. A lot of people have been raving about this book, and again, I love reading books before they come out in the movie. I'm generally disappointed when I see the movie because the books are always so much better. But give it a try. It's called Wild. It's by Cheryl Strayed, and it's been getting a lot of play in the press. And of course, Patricia, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being a part of our book club.
Sure.
We are going to take suggestions for the next book that you think we should read. So email me, Shelly Miles, or Smiles, real easy, sbgtv.com, and give us an idea about what book you are looking forward to reading as we move into the new year. And then we're going to take a look at those. We'll talk about it with the executive members of the book club.
Sure.
And come up with a decision and certainly let you know about it as we choose our new book moving into 2014. And Patricia has got a ton of books on her own, a lot of great information if you are looking to getting into writing. Check her website, all sorts of great things there, patriciawfischer.com for more details. All right, coming up next.